What do you see there, much afraid?
It's only a pebble, not much bigger than a seed of corn.
I bring my people down into Egypt, that they may be threshed and crushed, and become bread corn for the use of others. But remember, even though bread corn is bruised, no one threshes it forever, only until it is ready for its highest use. Pick it up as a memorial of this altar and all it stands for.
A memorial? How could I ever forget this altar?
After more failed attempts to bring Much Afraid back to the Valley of Humiliation, the Fearings gathered in great consultation to plan a new successful strategy and to nurse their wounds.
Nasty fall, Pride. Losing your balance off a rocky cliff could have turned out much worse than this.
Losing his balance? Pah! Is that what he told you?
You didn't really think Pride would admit defeat, did you?
No.
I'm fine. Just a temporary setback, that's all. I actually was considering a withdrawal to regroup and strategize.
Weeks have been wasted. I don't understand the failure and the mishandling of such a simple errand. Surely there was something you could have done while she wandered around the desert, resentment.
I resent that! Lord Fearing, while Much Afraid was in the desert, the shepherd never left her side. I mean, really, you could hardly expect us to move in with him around.
Well, maybe the desert was impossible, but if you ask me, and nobody ever does, we should have had her on the shores of loneliness when she was feeling very much alone.
There we were.
Oh, I'll be Much Afraid.
She had wandered away from her companions one afternoon, and we had her trapped at that narrow peninsula that jutted out into the sea. We were closing in. My accusations against her hero were taking effect, and she was beginning to agree with me. You act like a blind idiot, Much Afraid. Who is this shepherd you follow? What sort of person is he to demand everything you have and give nothing in return but sorrow and suffering, ridicule and shame? Why do you let him treat you like this?
If you had any self-respect, you would demand to be taken directly to the high places and stop all this foolish wandering in the wilderness. What's the point of it anyway?
Torment. That's what. He's just dangling the proverbial carrot out there. He never really intends to make good on any promise.
It's true, I'm afraid. We've seen this before. He seems to enjoy making fools of those who follow him. And I hate to say so, but it's working. I mean, everyone in the valley has heard of this little journey of yours, Much Afraid. The family has tried to cover for you, but, well, frankly, it's shocking that a member of such a respectable family would be so gullible.
That was a good one!
Naturally. And I had her in my power until self-pity started babbling.
It's not my fault. I had her feeling
But you just couldn't stop at that, could you?
All I said was that he seems to take delight in thinking up new ways to bruise her. Well, apparently that was the wrong thing to say. It was like she suddenly remembered something.
And screaming for the shepherd was not the desired response.
Yeah! Did you see the look on Pride's face when the shepherd suddenly appeared, caught him by the cape, and hurled him headlong over the cliff into the sea? Yes!
Poor Pride. And what about me? If I hadn't ducked and bolted like a hare, Much Afraid would have laid me out with that sharp piece of rock she hurled my way.
That doesn't sound at all like the same milquetoast mouse that stole away in the middle of the night.
You got that right. Something terrible is happening to Much Afraid. And it's terribly dreadful in the worst sort of way.
The fact is, our spies tell us that she is out of the desert, on the lower slopes, and is heading up.
I'm afraid she'll reach the high places. Be completely out of our reach if we don't do something fast.
She won't make it. She'll stumble and fall from a rocky cliff.
Truly nothing dismal if it weren't for those two very strong guides who aid her at every steep impasse. Why, it took everything I had just to keep up. My poor feet. Since she has put herself under the protection of the shepherd, force is unlikely to succeed.
It's obvious, well, to me anyway, that some means will have to be found in order to beguile her into leaving him of her own free will. There are many powers of fascination yet to be employed in order to coax her away from the shepherd. Much Afraid will be brought back here. This is the last thing we do!
Yeah!
It hardly mattered to Much Afraid that sorrow and suffering were still with her, because of the hope leaping up in her heart that soon they would cease to be her companions altogether. The shepherd had at last been leading them in the direction of the high places, and once they arrived, she would need their help no longer. One day, as they were traveling, they suddenly found themselves among the tops of the highest hills and could see, at no great distance, mountains. Never before had Much Afraid seen anything so beautiful. And before they believed it was possible, they found themselves among the slopes and boulders at the mountain's very base. In the late afternoon, the path they were following led straight up to the foot of an impassable precipice. And there, stopped dead,
after all. There is a way up the face of the precipice. The hart and the hind have shown it to us quite plainly. We shall be able to follow it too, and make the ascent.
No! That path is utterly impossible. The deer may be able to manage it, but no human could. I could never get up there. I cannot go that way to the high places, and so cannot get there at all. I can't do it. I can't.
Ha ha! We meet again, my dear little cousin. At last. If you really think you could escape from me altogether, no, much afraid. You are one of the fearings, and in fearings you'll always be. What's more, you trembling little idiot, you belong to me!
I won't go with you. I refuse to go with you.
Well, have it your way then. Take a look at that precipice before you. Won't you feel lovely up there? Just look where that ledge breaks right off, and you have to jump across the chasm onto that bit of rock.
Just picture yourself, much afraid, hanging over space, clutching that bit of slippery rock which you can't hold on to any longer. Imagine those ugly knife-like rocks at the foot of the precipice, waiting to mangle you to pieces as your strength gives out and you plunge down on them.
That's only one of the many such broken places on the track. And the higher you go, the farther you have to fall. So make your choice. Either you must go up there, where you know you can't, or you must come with me and be my little slave ever after.
I'm much afraid. You know where your help lies. Call for help.
I'm afraid to call. I'm afraid that if I do call him, he will tell me to go that way, that dreadful way, and I can't. He will tell me to build another altar, and I can't.
It's true, I'm afraid. The more you yield to him, the more he will demand you. He's cruel to you. He takes advantage of your devotion. All he's demanded from you so far is nothing to what he'll demand if you persist in following him.
He lets his followers, even women and children, go through tortures and hideous deaths of all sorts. Could you bear that, you little whiner? Then you better pull out and leave him now, before he demands the utmost sacrifice of all. Sooner or later, he'll put you on a cross of some sort and abandon you to it.
Poor little mushroom. It is too bad. You really are so devoted, and you have refused him nothing. Yet this is the cruel way he treats you. Can you really believe that he loves you and has your real good at heart when he acts like this towards you? Even if you are perfectly willing to suffer for his sake, at least others ought to know about it.
You should have listened to me before it went this far. You have no business here, much afraid. High places are not for the likes of you. This is what you get for thinking you were better than the rest of us. Ha! Going to live on high places? He isn't. You should just be grateful that we are here for you, and will take you home safely.
Help me! My fears have taken hold of me and I'm ashamed to look up!
impossible for me to go. It looks so dreadful, shepherds, so impossible. I turn faint whenever I look at it.
But what did I promise you in the valley of humiliation?
You said, oh shepherd, you said that you would make my feet like hinds feet and set me upon high places.
Well, the only way to develop hinds feet is to go by the paths which the hinds use, like this one.
I don't think I want hinds feet.
Oh, yes, you do. I know you better than you know yourself much better. You want it very much indeed, and I promise you these hinds feet. What did I say to you the last time you came?
You said, now you shall see what I will do. But I never thought you would do anything like this. Lead me up to an impassable precipice up which nothing can go but deer and goats. I'm no more a deer or a goat than is a jellyfish. It's too, why it's too preposterously absurd.
I love doing preposterous things. I don't know anything more exhilarating than turning weakness into strength, or fear into faith. If there is one thing more than another which I should enjoy doing at this moment, it is turning a jellyfish into a mountain goat. Come now, little jellyfish. Do you believe that I can change you into a mountain goat and get you to the top of the precipice?
Yes.
Will you let me do it?
Yes, if you want to do such a preposterous thing, you certainly may.
Do you believe that I will let you be put to shame on the way up?
I don't think I mind so very much, if you do. Only have your way in me.
The important thing about altars is that they make possibilities of apparent impossibilities. Put this stone in your pouch. This precipice is on the side of Mount Injury, but there are even more terrible precipices on the sides of Mount Reviling, Mount Hate, Mount Persecution, and others besides. Nowhere is it possible to find a way up without surmounting at least one of them. This is the one that I have chosen for you. Although you cannot reach the top before nightfall, there is a cave farther along the cliff where you can spend the night in safety. Your enemies will not follow you up this track, though I doubt not you will meet them again when you have reached the top.
I wonder what he will do next.
And because she was still much afraid and not yet ready to change her name, she added,
And will it hurt? Very much indeed.
After ascending Mount Injury with the strength and steadiness of her companions, Much Afraid was led through the forest of danger and tribulation. During that time, her enemies lurked near, but she clung tightly to sorrow and suffering as the thunder cracked and pealed, and the whole mountain seemed to quake with fury. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the clamor on the mountain ceased. All was quiet, and they walked along in a cloud of mist for days on end.
Cowardly though I am, there was something, well, rather exciting about the storm. It sent a terrible shudder through me, but it was thrilling, nevertheless. I prefer even the precipice than to plodding along in this dull fog. Will this dreary mist never end? No, it won't. Moreover, you might as well know now that this is going to continue for no one knows how long. Higher up the mountains, the mist hangs thicker and thicker still. That's all you can expect for the rest of the journey.
Have you noticed, Much Afraid, that the path which you are following isn't going up the mountain at all, but it's almost level? You've missed the upward way, and you're just going around in circles.
I hadn't exactly noticed that, but I can't help but realize now that it is true. Do you think we could have missed the way?
No, we know better than to listen to any suggestion made by bitterness or resentment.
Still, you might at least go back a little ways and look, instead of insisting on going on and on along what may prove to be a wrong path.
I really think that you ought to consider the suggestion. Perhaps it would be better to go back a little way and see if we missed the path. Really, it's no use going in circles getting nowhere.
Well, if we are going round in circles, we shall eventually arrive back where we went wrong. And if we keep our eyes open, we shall be able to see the path we missed. Always provided that it does exist and is not just a bit of imagination on the part of bitterness.
Why, you poor little thing. It's too bad you've been put in the charge of such obstinate, mule-like creatures. Just think of the time you were wasting, getting nowhere at all. Trudge, day after day, nothing to show for it. And you ought to be getting up to the high places.
Really, Much Afraid, your shepherd is almost more of a bully than Cravenfear himself.
And there's absolutely no reason for it either. There's another perfectly easy path that skirted the forest of danger and tribulation and goes right to the top without trudging along in this fog.
You're traveling the path of martyrs, Much Afraid, and
you don't fit that picture at all.
You know, he will not be able to rest content until he has put you to complete shame. Because that's the way he produces that precious humility he's so crazy about.
La 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 la.
Humble you to the dust, much afraid, and leave you a groveling idiot in front of everyone.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
So, you think you're going to become a little hero, do you? And go singing your way through the fog?
Singing?
No! Shrieking and screaming is my hairstyle.
Singing just may work. I must do something to cheer myself. Perhaps if I sing quite loudly, I won't be able to hear what they're saying. My shepherd, I shall not